Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today is a little bit different. Today we're going to talk about a guy that still means the world to me and has always meant the world to me ever since I've met him. He's a Mount Rushmore guy to me, and what that means to me is, I know Mount Rushmore, you have 4 people. Mine's probably more like 12, but they're the people that have really, really put a stamp in my life and has helped mold me to whatever you call me or whatever I am. But I wouldn't be here without this guy, Bud Myers. Bud died ironically on my birthday, and I don't take that. I think that's significant in a way. I don't know why, I just do. When I met Bud years ago, it's ironic because where I was working was for another construction outfit, and ironically, I had met my best friend Cooper there. We were at Morton Buildings together, and we shared a lot of leads. We had to share territories and whatnot. And this guy, his name was Bud. He said, like, he's a man of few words. He's like, Ryan, this is Bud Myers. Give me a call. I'm like, all right. So I call this guy, and I had no idea who he was. I met him at his house and had a beautiful house, beautiful setup. I get out of the truck, and there's this big man, established, and one of the kindest guys that I'd ever met. And then Janet was there too. Sat there and talked to him for an hour about some projects. He was a high-end guy. He did some big stuff, and he was always notorious for bringing people up with him. Like that's how I felt anyway. That's what he did for me. We did this huge project at Indy Truck, CNG, LNG conversion building, and it was very, very challenging. And we were trying to get it to where, and he did do this, to where it was put in every state as a national account. My first one, he helped facilitate that. But what I got out of Bud, just years of knowing him. Like I said, I bet I've known him for close to 20 years, maybe 15. It's probably more accurate. But every time I'd be around him, he was always so calm, collected, very, very confident, but very, very, very kind, very nice to people. I'd often say that Bud, I have a couple people like this in my life, not very many. Bud was definitely the leader of this one. He could say 5 words and get a whole room of people to move. And I was like, man, I don't know what it takes to be like that, but I want to be like Bud. I want to be like that one day. And I'd ask him, I'm like, Bud, how do you get people to do this? And he would just laugh. It's like, well, years of, whatever experience. He would never really tell you the secret sauce. But what I learned about Bud is he just loved people, and he loved, I talk about it a lot in my past podcasts that I feel like people are getting more selfish and more all about them. He was the opposite of that. And I think he would tell you that was the secret sauce. Don't be like everybody else. Be who you are, care about people, love people, and be intentional about that. That's something that I'll always take away from him. That's something that he instilled in me and lots of other people. I mean, lots of other people. I talked to one of his friends trying to bring him on to talk about this, and they didn't want to, and I don't blame them. It's a tough topic. It's very still emotional. I mean, it's been April, May, June. It's almost been 2 months, and it's still hard to talk about. Since then, we've lost quite a few other key people in our lives. Won't talk about that today, but it just kind of brings you full circle that, our time here is not infinite. So we do have to be intentional with our time. And I think that legacy piece, I keep coming back to that. And Bud's legacy that he has left behind to his family, to his neighbors, his friends, his coworkers, is, I think, immeasurable. And I hope when I die, that's what they say about me. I mean, that is the ultimate legacy piece. Like, his giving, his generosity, his love is immeasurable. It's just immeasurable. And I think that's something that most of us don't get to see. It's pretty cool. So, I miss the hell out of you, bud. I wish we could have talked more. You know, life gets busy. That's one lesson I'm taking from this is stop and have that beer. Stop and take 5 minutes to talk to somebody. Don't let your busyness get in the way, because when people are gone, they're gone, and you won't get that time back. But I didn't want to get emotional on here, but I am. It's part of who I am, unfortunately. But the lessons he's taught me, I use them today. I use them to help parent. Some of the funny stories that Bud and I have had do involve my children. I remember the first pop they ever had was at Bud's place. I'd take Bo and Brooklyn out there when they were little. I called them little Smidlers too. And Jen, you know, she was home doing whatever, and we come back and they're like, each had a Mountain Dew in their hand. She's like, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Bud gave it to him. You want to go tell him? You want to go yell at him?" She's like, "Oh no, if Bud did it, it's okay." You know, so Bud, he got a lot of get out of jail free cards with people on that. I remember one time he had a dog named Coco, and Bo, he does not listen. He's got the same ears as his father. I said, "Hey, don't go in that barn." We were getting out of the truck. I said, "Don't go in that barn let me go in there first." Of course, and Coco is blind and deaf, and it wasn't the dog's fault, but he walks in. We had winter jackets on, but he bit him, and it didn't hurt him at all, but scared the hell out of Bo, scared the hell out of all of us, really. And Bud called, and I mean, he was like, "Is there anything I could do?" Like, he was all over it, very, very concerned. His compassion for people he was so good at it, it was almost unnoticed, if you can even put your mind there. Like, he was so selfless that I mean, he could have put on a clinic, you know, for people. So I'm very thankful I got to know him. I do miss him a lot, and I'm glad that he's with Janet, because Janet passed away not too long ago, and a while ago. But when my mom died, he made the trip up to Remington, him and Janet, and I didn't know this. Wes Mantooth called me and told me this. He was like, "Hey, Bud went up there," and Janet wasn't doing too good at the time, and he's like, he wasn't able to come see you at the funeral because Janet needed some assistance, so he drove all the way to Remington and back for nothing. And I didn't even see him, but I'm thankful Wes told me that. So it's just the kind of guy that he is and was. Very, very selfless, very just about people. And that is a legacy piece that it'll be with me forever. So I love you, Bud, and I miss you, and can't wait to see you again. Thanks, guys.